Okay, hello everybody. I promised a couple of days ago that I was going to do an unboxing video and some more videos on the new Ruger American Gen 2 rifle. Most everybody's already heard, and some of you may already have these, but this one is chambered in 223 Remington. And I truly am unboxing it. As you can see, here's what it looks like when you get it. Kind of, are you getting it on the camera down in there?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what it looks like. It's got this new polymer stark finish on it. Kind of a checkered speckledy finish on it, and you know, if you've had the Ruger American rifle before, you'd know that they came in several different variations. The other one that I have is the Ruger American Predator rifle in 223 Remington, and it's got a little bit longer barrel. This is the 20-inch barrel, and you see it's got the Picatinny rail. Kind of flip it around here so you get the other view of it here on the other side. A lot of things that they've done different. I think that's most notable is they've got this raised cheek piece. Kind of helps you whenever you're trying to get your eye relief on your scope, and I think I'm really going to like that. And then also you've got your length of pull adjustments back here. If you see back here where you put the sling swivel, you take this out and you can make the adjustment there. They've got a whole new bolt for it. And speaking of the bolt, let me see if I can find it in here. This bolt is entirely different than the bolt that they had on the regular Ruger American rifle. Here's the new bolt. Probably most notably on it, they've got a larger knob. And then also in here, it comes with the Magpul PMag, the 10-round Magpul PMag. And, you know, that's really good because your AR-15 magazines are going to fit into this rifle. Now, that's not something that's different than the Ruger American Predator rifle that I've got. Let me see if I can get this bolt in here. There we go. I see back here on the other side when you get ready to take the bolt out, there is a button that you push there, and you can just, you get that pushed in, you just pull that bolt on out of there. Okay. Another thing too that's most notable about this is it's of course got the threaded barrel. Now my Predator had the threaded barrel, and if you just had a standard Ruger American rifle, I don't think they came with a threaded barrel. Not only has this got a threaded barrel, they've also put a muzzle flash suppressor on this thing. And then the other thing too really stands out, it's got the fluted barrel. And a lot of folks, you know, I used to always wonder about the fluted barrel, if that's just for looks, but actually it lightens the barrel just a little bit, and they say that somehow or another that with that it strengthens the barrel some too. But it's got all of the metal is a Cerakoted finish, whereas the standard on the other Ruger Americans were just like a blued finish. But this is now whenever you buy the Ruger American Gen 2, it comes standard with a Cerakoted finish. And then there's a lot of checkering, and I really felt when I first got this thing out, right here where this forearm is, whenever you use that and put your hand there, it's just got a nice feel to it because of the texture and the grooves that they've cut in it. And this is just like the others, it's got the free floating barrel on it also. So there you have the all new Ruger American rifle Gen 2, and this one's chambered in 223 Remington. Okay, this is going to be the scope that I'm going to mount on the new Ruger American Gen 2 rifle. and just wanted to give you some information. And this isn't really a commercial. It's just something that I have been dealing with and have used before. Kind of new to me. If you've ever heard of Monstrum Tactical, they manufacture scopes, mainly I think tactical scopes for AR-15s. But this one we're going to mount on this Ruger American Gen 2. It's called the Monstrum Hornet. And you can see right over here on the left-hand side, it's 6-24, and then it's got a 50 millimeter aperture on it also. And then also right underneath the 6-24, you can kind of get an idea of what the reticle looks like there. And you can see it's about 14.5 inches long, and it weighs 30 ounces. And so also I wanted you to look over here, because this is important too. I have found them to be a pretty good company to deal with. They put a lifetime warranty on these products, and I think that's important. You see monstrumtactical.com, that's their website, and right underneath there it tells you what all is included. And a lot of times you buy a new scope for your rifle, and then you got to go buy lens caps, and you got to get the scope rings to mount it on there. But not so with this. As you can see, all of that's included. This is a 30 millimeter rings that comes with it. And right here is the scope. And you can see Assistant Chief Terry Waldo Walden is getting ready to mount this thing. And whenever he does, I'm going to get him on video explaining a few aspects about mounting a scope that's important reminders for everyone to remember whenever they're mounting their scope. And I'll come back in a minute and let you see that. Okay, while we got this rifle at this point in the mounting of the scope, I just want to say that, as you can see, it came with a Picatinny rail. And what Assistant Chief Waldo has done at this point is he's got the scope ring bases mounted on the Picatinny rail. And one thing that we wanted to point out is that we are trusting that Ruger's quality control made sure that those that Picatinny rail is tight, and it has probably got some Loctite on it. And then as we go along, we're going to snug this up ourselves. And Assistant Chief Waldo has some tips that he's going to pass on to you here as we do this.
One of the things we're going to look at when we get this on there, once we get the scope mounted, is when you clamp this down, when you tighten it down, make sure the spacing is good on these. These mounts won't touch each other, obviously, but there will be a small space in between each one of them. And just kind of be diligent on watching the spacing in there, making sure they're pretty even. I'm going to make another adjustment on this one because this side right here is just a little bit higher than the other. So we're going to loosen this side up just a few threads and tighten it down here, and then we're going to snug everything back up, and then we're going to be ready to fire it.
Helpful tips by Assistant Chief Waldo. Okay, with the first shots with the Ruger American Gen 2 chambered in 223 Remington, we mounted the scope, and in lieu of bore sighting, we set this target out here at 25 yards. And you can see we have fired what would appear to be 6 shots and made our adjustments. And now we're going to go out and show you the 3 shots we put on the 100-yard target. Okay, so if you look at the upper left-hand target here, this is 75 yards away. And so after we made our adjustments on the 25-yard target, this is the group that I came up with at 75 yards. And you see that's really a pretty tight group. Now what I'm probably going to do next is to do a little bit of windage and try to dial this thing back over to the right, try to get into the bullseye. Okay, pay attention to the target on the upper right. That's 6 rounds with 2 different shooters after we've zeroed the scope in. And this is a 75-yard target. So whenever you take a look at that 6-round group, we feel like we've got the scope appropriately sighted in at this point.